All right, guys. All right. It's Real Shit Fridays. Welcome back to another week. I hope you guys got through your week. I'm here by myself. Coco has a conference in Philadelphia that I believe she's doing with Real Troy Music. The Troy Weeks Music. Sorry, Troy Weeks Music. He's their other co-host on our show. Make sure you check out his show. His show's actually on tomorrow. Free Yourself. So make sure you check him out. He definitely has some great content there for you. But today I am interviewing the rapper who's responsible for the introduction song that we just heard there. His name is Untamed. I don't know if he wants me to give out his government name, so I'll just let him kind of introduce himself. Hey, are you out there, Untamed? How you doing today?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's good? What's good? So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us who you are. Like, I know our listeners usually don't, on this show, we usually don't get rappers. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I mean, I'm not, I ain't gonna say average, but, I'm Untamed. I'm from Detroit. That's where I'm from. 27 years old. Been in Detroit most of my life, but I've been bouncing around, though, Now I got a son now that I'm trying to take care of, making sure that he's on the right path, doing good. I mean, what you want to know? What else you want to know?
You got a son? Oh, no, okay, give it up. Let's give it up for having a son, because, we're going to give it up there, right there. Like, having, that's hard. That's hard. I see a little man on Instagram. He's so cute. He's really so adorable. So you said you grew up in Detroit, so that's where you got started with your rap career, correct? Or did you go to Philadelphia for a little bit too in your career, or was it always in Detroit?
I mean, I done bounced around with my career, but I started my rap career in Detroit, and then I had moved to Philly I only stayed in Philly like a month and a half, though. I was down there in Philly handling some business, trying to get some connects down there. But we been moving around. I've been to New York. We had I went to the fashion show with you. Had that fashion show with you guys, and then I done been to New York with my guys. We had some shows up there.
Yes.
So, been bouncing around.
Yeah. So the fashion show that he was talking about was actually I had this business where I made custom dog apparel that matched human outfits. And he came up and did his rap of 313, I believe, which we're gonna play a little bit later in the show. But yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome trip for me. We had some family problems, but by the way, if y'all don't know, he is my brother. He's my oldest brother. Not my older brother. I have one other brother who's older than you, but you're the one who's closest to me in age. So we're gonna get into a little bit of that later too, because a lot of people know who I am, but they only know like the video Karlos or the podcast Karlos. They don't know the real me. I'm really crazy for real, y'all. All right. So what's your musical background? Like, do you actually make your own beats? Do you buy your beats? Like, how do you develop your music?
I mean, with me being who I am an artist, and I do a lot, but it's so much on my plate with me having my family I got to take care of, and then me trying to keep a job and taking care of business, my music and everything. I do music, like I do make beats. I don't make them as much though because it's just too much. Because me making a beat and then trying to write the song and then record the song, that's just too much. I just like to focus on just writing the music. That's what I mainly focus on. But I am all around. I can do everything though.
No, that's dope. We did get a chat in. We have Brandon. He's from our Wednesday live show. He's tuning in. He said, "What up?" Brandon's here. He says he wants some family tea. So that's definitely, we're gonna give some family tea later on in the show. We got about a good 45 minutes here, so we will definitely get to that. Brandon, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
Shout out. That's what's up.
Dope. All right, so that's dope. So you kind of you have a hand in everything that you do, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's kind of how I am too, man. Like, this is my first time actually. Like, I've had the podcast. I do different podcasts. I do guest appearances on different podcasts. But this actually is my first time actually recording it, doing the productions, getting the music in here, doing like the cover, like everything that Coco usually does. Which, shout out to you, Coco. This is not easy. I had to download all types of shit on my computer, and like I had a tech guy out here this morning just like helping me out. And but I got it figured out. We're up and rolling. I got this. So I'm super excited because that was one part of it that I wanted to find out. I always wanted to know, like, how does it actually develop? Like, how do you actually put in like the sound effects and the music and
exactly.
And so I learned how to do that between yesterday and today. So here I am today. I'm just like you when it comes to just having my hand in a little bit of everything that I do. So if you were to collaborate with anyone in the industry right now, who would it be that you would want to collaborate with?
Well, right now, I'm gonna say a couple like local artists from Detroit that I know of, and a couple celebrities that we do know. A couple local artists that I do want to do some music with is probably like I know for sure I want to do a song with FMB and Sada for sure. Nisha and the Shay, that she just got signed. She just signed with Rock Nation. So I for sure want to do some business with her. Not because she got signed with Rock Nation, but I've been following Nisha before all of that. I've been following her whole feel me, her
career. And
yeah.
that's what I do too. A lot of people. You've seen me from like you're my brothers. You've seen me come from literally nothing.
Yeah,
and
nothing.
And I built my career. And there are certain moves like you saw me in New York. Like when I'm a businessman, I'm a businessman. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's whatever. Like I'm doing business but I thrive at business and I thrive at, like you said, building parallels. So like I see your future and I'm going to be like, I'm one of the first ones that did a podcast interview with this nigga. Like those are the type of steps that I like to take. That way, when you do make it big, I can already drop my name and be like, oh, I already been there. You look at a lot of people who were working with Cardi B before she blew up. And those are the people who are making it in the game now. And that's how it works. You can't try to, like you said, go after the people who are already there. You have to work with the people who are hungry, just like you, and who are trying to go on to get it, and who are building. Exactly. But I there is a certain point where I try to not be so Hollywood, but I've been doing pretty good the last 2 years. Like I got over 200 million views online. Like my YouTube pays me. Like I'm doing pretty good. So when other people try to work with me and collab with me, I'm just like, all right, I will collab with you, but like you have to be about your business too. I'm not just gonna let you write my coattails. Is that something that you feel like people in the rap industry in Detroit do? Like, do you see like when people start to make it like Cash Doll, for example? Everybody was like really talking down to her for the longest time until she actually started making a name for herself.
And that's how it is.
And then now everybody's on a dick. Like, is that how it is? Is that how it works?
That's what it is in Detroit, though. That's why I really like I done sat down with my management crew, and we didn't actually. And shout out to my management too, though. But I didn't sit down with my management crew, and we just sat down and talked about not doing shows that much in Detroit no more because of the fact that a lot of people they just ride the wave. They don't go with the real talent. Like it's more people in Detroit or just around period that just got actual real talent. They don't get noticed because they might not have the money to pay $300 for an interview or $500 to get placed on a slot for them to perform, and they don't even know if they're gonna win or not. But their talent is there, and they get looked over because they don't got the money or they don't got the funds, they don't got the back, they don't have the team to support. You feel me? So it's hard. It's hard to make it as an artist.
It really is, but that's just a lot of people forget. Just because you're a musician, it's still an art. I'm an artist. I consider myself an artist as well. I'm not a musician, but I do stand-up comedy. I do YouTube videos. Like I'm creating art. My art is a little bit different, but I have to have backups. Like I have to have hustles. I have to have like the dog business that made me a couple $1,000s that year. And then after I made that money, it was like, okay, let's take this money, boom, let's move on, let's invest. And I took that money to invest in sound equipment, in lighting. And then I got my YouTube started, and then now my YouTube pays me. So I'm going to take that money and I make for that, and then I'm going to invest in something else. It's about starting little things. I even go as far as to, if you follow me on social media, I do resell clothing. So I'll go buy clothes from the good. This is something we used to do back in the hood. Go buy something or get something for free and sell it for more than what you got. It's called like the
flop. That's what I specialize in.
I know.
I specialize in sales and marketing though, for sure. I'll be on my little merchant though now. Like I'll be selling clothes, perfumes, and colognes and stuff, all types of stuff now though. But that's just to stay out of the way, like just to keep me out of the streets. Cause I didn't been in the street. I didn't been there and done that. So I ain't trying to go that road. And I ain't trying to have my son see that and go down that road, have that path. We came from the rough end.
Yeah, I definitely know. So you mentioned your management team earlier. Tennille is still your manager, correct?
Yes, that's my manager.
So how does it? So Tennille, let everyone know, Tennille is your significant other and the mother of your child, correct?
Yes.
So how does that work? Because I know even with us, we bumped heads doing business. Like for the whole New York trip, I was like, "You got to sign this contract, bro, if you want to come out." It's because you're like, that's a steep ass contract. I'm like, well, that's my terms to do business with me. You don't have to take it, But how does that work with a significant other? Do you guys argue about where your career is going? I know there are some other musicians and artists who've made it happen. But like, you know, I don't want like, or is it more like Ike and Tina, where she's just like, she whooping your ass and like, you gonna work, because I know she would be the one whooping ass. It wouldn't be you whooping ass. It'd be her whooping ass. So like, how does it work?
It's actually not even like that. It's I done been through the managers. Like I done had a couple different managers that's supposed to, you feel me, took my career to where they was supposed to take it, but you feel me, they didn't even have the money to take my career to where it's supposed to be, but they didn't. You feel me? The reason why I made Tennille, I actually sat down and decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna make my baby mama my manager, because I know that she got my best interest, and at the end of the day, when this pay off, it's gonna help her. At the end of the day, regardless if we together or not, it's still gonna pay off for her. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you got my son, and she know the type of man I am. I'm gonna take care of her and my kid anyway, regardless. So,
no, that's dope. That's super dope. So that's cool. So you kind of look at it as like, regardless, you're gonna be my manager even if we break up, because like you're part of what we already built.
Best interest. Got the best interest in my music. She worked harder for my music, pushing my music than I do. Feel me? Like I said, like I put a post on my Facebook. Like I really meant that. I'm just me as an artist. I write the music. I go in the studio. I perform. I go to the shows. I perform. You feel me? That's what I do. That's what I'm good at. That's what I'm great at. The rest of that, the background, that's what she's for. You feel me? She does all of that, and she does a great job at it. So,
oh, that's dope. That's super dope. So there is your lyrics. I'm gonna tune in to your new single really quick called "Got Me Started." I want to let the people kind of listen to it for a quick 30 to 45 seconds, and then I want to ask you some questions about your lyrics. So just give us a second, guys, and then I'm gonna come back. Give us 1 second. We're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Real killers never say shit, don't start shit. Last morning shooters waiting on the next target. So if I tell them niggas go, you gon' get gone quick. Well, out of these niggas is pussy, they ain't on shit. But I'm the shit, reinstall your toilet now. I'm eating rappers, think I gotta move about. A cush attack, I think I need more loud. In these 12, a nigga couldn't walk them out. Out my mind, I think I had to bring them back. It's my time, you other niggas take a nap. I sip serve, so you know that I lean right. They wasn't right, so obviously they got left. Look, they got me started. Big moves around this bitch, nigga, boss up. I'm out of state, you gotta pay me for a walk. Man, I trust you, do not wanna press your luck up. Last morning, but this here can be your last year. Never let these niggas press the right gears. Lane, I'm moving fast, I gotta shift gears. I'm chasing so every day we all can say cheers. Get it here. That is all I know, that shit's so necessary.
yeah, I'm here.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, one thing that you kept saying in your song is nigga, and that's something that a lot of people don't really agree with. What's your opinion about that?
I mean, me personally, nigga is an expression. Like, that's just, I call my dog a nigga, like my actual puppy. You feel me? Like, what's up, my baby? What's good, nigga? You feel me? It's just an expression. That's just me. It can, people, I mean, it's so much controversy over the words in our past and slavery and all of that. I'm not that type of person. Like, I was born in the new era. You feel me?
No,
1990. You feel me?
So
like,
so you feel so
it matters to an extent. Like,
so what's the extent? Because we have some white rappers who out here just saying nigga, nigga, nigga. Like, yeah. How are you okay with that? Because they're part of the culture? Or do you not really care?
Honestly, it depends. I mean, if they saying it in an insulting way, then yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way because they're doing it purposely. They're purposely insulting me. Feel me? But if they saying it like I say it, if they grew up in the hood like I grew up in the hood, if they grew up around black folks, and it's gonna rub off. That word is gonna rub off to some extent, some way, somehow. It's going to, because this is just normal.
No, I agree. I with my video, one of my videos just went viral on my YouTube. And I said it was like one of my police video when they were detaining me, and I was like, they treated me like a nigger, and she was like, well, there were so many comments, so they're like, well, why can't we say it if you say it? And I was like, because I'm not saying you can't say it, like you said, but there are contexts that you're saying it, and a lot of times the context that you're saying aren't what you meant. But you mentioned when you were growing up. A lot of people know that I grew up in foster care, so I want to delve into a little bit of your childhood so people can understand where your lyrics come from. Because we're going to listen to your other single that came out a couple months ago, 313, and that kind of talks about Detroit, and that's actually the area code of Detroit, and it kind of like goes into like how you started your hustle and how it started. So if you don't mind sharing, I'm very open because this is Real Shit Fridays. I'm very open about what happened to me and my experience, but you were a different person. You had a different experience. How was it growing up? Just let us know, let the listeners know.
I mean, me as a child, everything that I went through growing up put me in the stage that I'm in right now. Like, I went through a lot of shit growing up.
So you went through like foster care.
Foster care for sure. Yeah, I went in and out. I mean, off rip, like just off me just thinking I'd have been in and out of like 13 different schools. Like people always be like, "Dang, you look familiar. What school did you go to? You go to no, never went to none of your schools. You don't know me." Like,
it'd be like that. It'd be like that to me too because I was in 36 foster homes, so I got bounced around a lot, and then I was finally adopted, and then my adopted parents gave me back. So. We both kind of had the similar experience of just leaving the system. I think you left at like 16, correct?
Yeah, but I didn't leave the system though. That's the whole thing.
You just kind of ran away, right?
I ran away from my foster home that I was in. Because I got fed up.
Yeah, I didn't really leave the system either. Shit, I ran away. They told me that they had the social worker coming to get me. I bounced. I said, "Oh, I've been there, done that. I'm 16 now. I got to go. I got a job. I got to go."
I had to get low, but that's how I ended up back in Detroit. Though when I left my foster care home, came back to Detroit, ended up meeting everybody that I know now, that put me on the path that I'm on now.
So I'm an avid listener to your music, and I love, like, my favorite song is still 313. But I feel like a lot of the times with your music, like, you compete, and this is just me being real, because this is Real Shit Fridays, so don't get your panties in a bunch. I just feel like you try to compete with what the other rappers are rapping about and don't rap your honesty a lot of the times. And I think some of your biggest bangers are when you rap honesty, like when you have Vows and you have 313. Those are songs because I know who you are, and I know, and I listen to the lyrics. But then I like Got Me Started. It's a bop. Speaking of that, Brandon said that Got Me Started is a hit. So you definitely got something there. We got some people on the chat. We got some people on the chat giving us thumbs up and saying that it's pretty dope. So we're going to give you a round of applause for that. Definitely a dope song. So, but do you think that the reason I'm talking about the N-word and the lyrics is, do you think that you could ever come out with like a Christian rap album or like just like a wholesome album that you can dedicate to foster kids?
Believe it or not, bro. Believe it or not, like I'm actually it's so much that I'm working on right now. Like I'm so in between because I don't want to bring my Christian, because I have Christian songs that I actually wrote. I don't want to be in between. Like, I don't want to be fleshly and trying to write Christian songs because I feel like I'm not going to be genuine. But I do have those songs. But when God put me to a stage to where I'm molded, because I'm a very God-fearing person, to where I'm molded 100% and I'm all the way 100% with him, he's definitely going to transition me from being streetly with the world, with these worldly songs, to being straight on my Christian thing. But as of right now, like, the reason why I make the songs that I make now, like, I got two different things that I'm making. Like, the songs that I'm making right now is specifically for, like, it's just promotion. Like, that's the whole Self-Sufficient mixtape is just for promotion. I got a whole nother album that I'm working on. I'm going to drop my album after I drop the mixtape. I'm just trying to push my music out here so people know who I am and know that I got the talent.
And yeah, and that's like, you know, I'm always an advocate. I like that you said that. I'm always an advocate of your music. I've always been. But I've also been like, you know what, I'm tired of these I'm going to shoot you up songs, because that's what got me away from rap. It's because, like, and that's my next topic, is this mumble rap and this 6ix9ine. I feel old because I don't even know. Like, I hear these songs and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm used to words being. Like I said, I like to listen to the lyrics. I like to develop it. I like to actually delve into the artists and actually see what their minds were thinking when they wrote that music. But these new artists, what's your opinion on mumble rap and these people who just repeat the same thing all in their whole song? Do you have an opinion on that, or like what do you think?
Honestly, how I feel, this is how I feel about a lot of new artists that's making it right now. I feel like it's hard. It's hard for actual talent to actually make it right now because right now what they're looking for is popularity. It's not so much talent, but it's popularity. How many followers? How many views? How many this? How many that? But it's not about the actual talent. Like the people that's popping right now, Lil Pump, 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine, some of his songs I like, not all of his songs, but some of his songs I do like. Like one of
Who?
Lil
Wait,
Pump,
did you say? Did you just say Little Pump?
Yeah, Little Pump. Little Pump only has one song that I like.
Flushing the toilet on him. Flushing the toilet on him. Trash.
That's what I'm saying. Look, the only thing that I'm saying is like they don't have lyric. They're not lyricists. They don't have lyrics. They just making party music for the kids. This is for the youth. That's who's putting people on. The youth and women who make people go to where they're supposed to be the most. Women and kids. That's who put people on. Like for real.
But like I just. With music, I just think music is such. We grew up on. I know the music we grew up on in the '90s definitely influenced me as a child. Like we grew up on R&B, Destiny's Child. I know. I definitely was in like TLC, all the girl groups, all the boy groups, the rap and hip hop artists like Biggie Smalls and Tupac. Like we grew up with that. So a lot of their music was positive. I think these kids, all they're listening, even for female rappers, like we have SZA and she's talking about sharing men, like, and then we have Little Uzi Vert who's talking about all my friends are dead. And if you don't actually go and look at what he's talking about, which I believe he's talking about like money, like he's saying all his friends that he have is his money because they're dead presidents on the bills.
You never know.
Right?
You never know because the industry, like they're pushing. Like, this is what I just told my management. Like, the industry will be quick to push something negative before they push something positive, and that's because negativity sells.
What? Sells. You know what? You're absolutely right. I've been doing this YouTube thing. When I posted my police brutality videos, they've been skyrocketing. I got like 300,000 views, 200,000 views. But when I post my comedy, when I post my good shit, like my creative shit,
they don't want to see that.
They don't want to see it. They don't want to.
They want to see. They want to see a nigga getting beat up. They want to see somebody getting shot. They want to see somebody getting robbed. That's what they want to see. They want to see motherfuckers doing foolish stuff. That's what they really want to see right now. And that's what I've really been struggling with my music because like it don't matter what angle, because I'm a versatile artist. Like it don't matter what angle I touch. Like it's just hard. Like that's why they keep telling me I gotta branch out.
But that's every industry. Again, like I said, every art is the same. If I go out there and put a wig on and make comedy like all these other Instagram and YouTube people are doing, yeah, I could do that. I could blow up, but that's not me. That's not my character. And exactly. I do believe in feminization of the black man. I do believe in that we should have positive role models of black men who don't need to be in a dress. Like that's something I really believe in. So maybe my comedy career will go a little bit slower, but you know what? I'd rather take the slow and steady route than the quick and fast route, because slow and steady route gives you, and I know this for a fact, slow and steady route gives you real results when you get that.
And it lasts long.
And it lasts long. I don't know if you know about the difference between juice and sauce. Have you heard the juice and sauce?
No, I haven't.
Just think that your career is a refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
And you have juice in your refrigerator and you have sauce. What lasts longer in your career or in your refrigerator, juice or sauce?
Oh, the sauce for sure lasts longer.
Sauce lasting forever. Sauce, you could use a little bit of sauce for every little bit of meal, but that juice, everybody wants the juice. When you hear about juice, they're like, oh, you juiced up, oh, you got the juice, you got the chains, oh, you got the juice, but do you have the sauce?
The sauce, right. See,
a lot of people have the juice. You can get the juice. But
I like that.
But you ain't got the sauce. I want my refrigerator to be full of motherfucking sauce. Like we want barbecue sauces. We want Polynesian sauces, bitch. I want Chick-fil-A sauces. Like, do you have the sauce? So and that's a good comparison to people, because a lot of people are like, Karlos, like you have all these views and stuff. I'm like, that's just juice. I'm not. Right. I ain't getting saucy yet. I ain't getting these saucy checks yet. Like that's juicy, but I want the sauce, so I'll take the long game. So yeah, that's a quick comparison. I have another question. Does growing up in foster care, did that give you an advantage in the game? Because I have another back into that question for me. But does that give an advantage in the game or a disadvantage? Do you think?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, from my point of view, it didn't give me an advantage. I feel like it really put me on the back end, because I'll be looking at like because I ain't even got too many friends right now, but some of the people that I do associate with, their situations is better and they don't know what to do with them. But in the same sense, I feel like that's the reason why God put me through that situation, so I can know what to do with my situation when it comes to me. You feel me? So it's like a win-win. It's like a win-win right now. Like, it wasn't negative, but it wasn't positive.
See, I won't say it wasn't negative. Foster care was very negative for me, especially. But I'm
talking about as far as being a kid. I'm talking about as far as being in there and having my emotional feelings being ripped away from my parents and all of that. Yeah, that was messed up. But who's to say where we'd have been at if we'd have stayed if we'd have stayed with mama back then, how we was. We was the baby kids on the block. Everybody knew that. We were running into houses, robbing people. Who's to say we'd have made it to the ages we at right now? Like, for real.
But hold on to those stories. That's the next segment. So that's the next segment of it. So hold on to don't be telling everybody you're gonna give up my damn segment.
All right.
So okay, cool. So we're gonna go to another little intermission real quick. I'm gonna do a 1 to 2 minute introduction of my favorite song from Untamed. Y'all stay tuned, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Real Detroit shit. Yeah. Straight out the sea. Yeah. Look. They can't get in like me. Bitch, I'm too street. Yeah. Straight out the D. That's 313. That's 313. That's 313. Look, that money make you work hard. That 9 to 5 wasn't getting enough, I had to hit the yard. Don't worry about that chef foot, I just play the cards. Now that rollie on my wrist costs about 10 large. Cash, bitch, I am the money man. Catch me late night, that ice doing the money dance. If you ain't get it out the mud, you can't understand. Hustle hard, I'm trying to stack a couple $100 grand. Hold up, look, my niggas ain't about that play. They put that Draco out and had your ass doing the nay-nay. Eastside, but my name ring throughout the West though. He say he need that bag, tell him meet me at the Sicko. Cookie in the wood, I smoke a lot cause I'm a pothead. Tell your niggas be cool cause really I'm a hothead. Yeah, 7 mile to better mile. 6 miles where them goons really hold it down. Right more into the world, blow, that's how it go. Can't forget about them hustlers out on daily road. Them school crab boys, they keep that loud daily. Them North End niggas, they got them going crazy.
All right. Thank you guys. That was Untamed's 313. Like I said, that's my favorite album or my favorite single that he has right now out. You can get him on SoundCloud, and he'll give a shout out to all his other links at the end of the show. So Untamed, we're going to talk about this is what everyone's been waiting for. This is family tea time. So I'm going to give some memories of our getting us in fights, and I want to ask you if you remember what happened. So,
it ain't too much. I remember. We'll see.
The ones I remember are like crazy though. So I remember this one time we were living in the hood per usual. I think it was in Muskegon at this point, and I think it was summertime, and somebody had stolen a holographic Pokemon card from you. And growing up in our house, like if one of us got in a fight, we all got in a fight. So
yeah, we definitely did.
It was like all for one and one for all, that motherfucker. So I remember this kid went out and tried to fight you, and I remember going in the house and grabbing a knife off the kitchen table and going out there, and I was like, if you touch my brother, I'll cut you. Do you remember that story?
Oh, hold on. Yeah. I think, bro, look, I think what had happened when you had got that knife that day, that was Bobby. It was Bobby and...
You remember names.
Dang, what was them two? Erica and Eric. It was Bobby, Erica, and Eric. That's who we got into it with that day. They was on that tip because they had took my fucking Pokemon cards after me and Jatia had whooped their ass though, because they was always messing with us. So one day we like, fuck it. We had jumped Eric, and then we had ended up beating Erica later on that day, and they ended up trying to retaliate on us. That shit was crazy. Crazy. We came home. All I know is I seen you coming from in the house. You was running wild, like, nigga, I'm like, oh, go down.
Yo, listen, I was a small kid, but I was crazy. I never backed down from nobody's fight, and I think that really what had made me as an adult today. I don't back down from anyone's fight. Like, I'm gonna speak my mind. I said what I fucking said. If you got a problem with it, like, let's throw hands. Like, that's just like who I am.
Right.
Let's see. Hey, do you remember that one time that we were at Grandma's house and I fell through that chair and cut my leg open?
Yes, and Grandma poured that whole bottle of peroxide on your leg, bro. Granny was tripping that day.
Wait, mind you, when I say, like, I cut my leg open, like, I cut my leg to the bone. Like, I still have a good, like, 4-inch scar.
Crazy.
Like, you can see my veins and my meat and my bone was all out and shit. And my grandma literally, like, took a bottle of peroxide, poured it in her.
The whole bottle. The whole bottle. Yeah, we went through some things. That same year, me and T was playing tag in the house. Over, I forget who house we was over, and she had ran through the little screen door window, one of them little plexiglass windows, man. Closed the screen on me. I running full speed, couldn't stop. It ran through the glass, cut my elbow up.
We were always roughed up. Somebody always got their head busted. Knee busted, lip busted, like wounds. That's why my body's just full of body scars. That is so funny. So the last story, why are all these stories talking about? Because that's all we did as kids was fight.
Yeah, we was bad. We was bad as kids. All of our stories growing up, all of the memories we have, even our good memories, are bad memories.
Oh my god, that needs to be a post-it note. Even our good memories are bad memories. I'm putting that on some shit. I'm putting that on a t-shirt. That is so fun. Because everything I'm trying to think of like what's something real good. And like every good thing.
Oh, bro, look. Remember me and you was having that rock fight?
And I threw a brick.
And you hit Eddie's head, cut his head.
I was throwing pebbles and I was like, fuck this. I threw a whole brick. Hit my brother dead in the head. We were baby children. Funny. All right, so I think the last memory that I want to talk about is when our uncles convinced us to rob our neighbor's house. And like it wasn't like we snooped them out. Like we knew they were going on vacation. We knew when they were going on vacation. So like our uncles were like, so go over to their house and like just like find out what they got, where it's at. So like we acting like we're their friends, like kikiing. And what happened that day too?
Look, so we go. Our Uncle Fiki then told us, feel me? Oh, the house empty. Go ahead, go in there and get everything. So we go to the house to get everything, and we get everything. We take the stuff back home. He take the TV downstairs. Somebody called the police though. He take the TV downstairs. Somebody called the police. They come over to our house. The police come downstairs to see him. He downstairs in the boiler room with the TV on the snow, talking about he watching snow. I was like, what?
And then wasn't the other? He was like, we watching snow. He was hiding behind. He tried to hide behind the motherfucking dryer.
Yeah, man. I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. If we just stayed in them situations, ain't no telling what had happened, bro. For real.
It was always some bad situation. If you want to know more about that situation, about like those stories, I have a book coming out this summer. I'm going to do a shameless plug. It's called White Picket Fence. It'll be available on Amazon.com Amazon Books. It's literally like my childhood and these stories, and I go into my memory, and it's taken me 5 years to write that book because it's just so every time I think about something, I was like, damn, that was fucked up. Man, I need a blunt. Like, right. You know? So let's get it. So that was the end of that segment. Thank you guys for joining us for like family tea. Yes. We got a lot of tea going on there. So we're going to end. We got a couple more minutes. I got about like 10 more minutes with you. I want to ask you, what is your worst fear?
My worst fear?
Yeah.
I can honestly say my worst fear in my life is failure. That's my worst fear. But they always tell me I can't fear failure because we need failure to be successful. But it's just me. That's my worst fear. Waking up one day knowing I failed. I failed my son. I failed my kids. I failed my relationship, and that's what I don't want to.
And you know what? I think we have a lot of things in similar. Earlier, you were talking about when I asked you if foster care gave you an advantage or not, and you said you didn't think so. For me, I always said it did give me an advantage because I think it did give me an advantage because we didn't have a backup. We didn't have, I don't have anything to be like, our mom doesn't own a house that I can go back and be like, hey mom, I'm homeless, you know, like we didn't have no help going through college. I didn't have no help going through high school. No one taught me how to drive. No one taught me how to do my taxes. Like I have no backup even still now. Like, yes, I'm married, but I married someone who also was in the system and he has no backup. So we both are each other's backbones, and that's why my marriage is so successful, is because we literally have each other. And a lot of our family thinks that, like, oh, I don't talk, or I'm too bougie, or this, that, and the other. It's that really that I've spent my whole life alone, that, one, I'm comfortable, and yes, I try to go out of my way. Like New York, I try to go out of my way to make it a normal family, but to be completely honest, our family will never be normal, and that's something that I've been okay with. I've come to be okay with.
Right.
But I definitely think that growing up in foster care gave me an edge, especially in business, because I'm ruthless. Like, you know how I do business. I'm ruthless. Like, it's boom, boom, boom. Do it. If you're not on time, if you don't pick up the phone, if you're not what you're supposed, like if you're not on your shit, I won't work with you. You're done. Like, moving on. Let's go. And I get that from foster care. I get that from just like not giving a shit because no one gave a shit about me, and I just didn't give a shit about nobody else. And I've had to learn as an adult that it's not always okay to just not give a shit. Like sometimes you do have to care, you know, and it's okay to care. So that's also one of my fears, is that like just failing, and because I know if I fail, I really will be homeless, and I really will be on the streets, you know.
Exactly. We ain't gonna, but that's why, and that's another reason why I work so hard and I strive for success and I strive to be greater, because I know, you feel me, with the past that I've been through and the things that I'm still going through right now, I know it's a brighter side on the other side of the fence. I just got to get to it.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 2 more questions for you, and then we will wrap up. What advice do you have for people who would follow in your footsteps, especially for foster children who maybe, like you said, maybe don't have all the funds or the accessibility to start their career or to go after their career? What advice would you give them that you've done?
The advice I would give them is believe in themselves. Believe in, even if they don't believe in it, so believe in something and strive for success, man. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't be who you want to be or that you can't do what you want to do in your life.
That's dope. That's super dope. No, that touched me. That touched me. And then, like, finally, what do you have? Actually, no, I'm going to do this question first. So every time I interview someone, I always ask them to ask me a question. What's something that you've been wondering or been dying to ask me, Untamed?
What have I been wanting to ask you? It's so much, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's whatever like pops up in your mind.
I don't know. I don't know. Go to the next question.
You just go skip the personal question and shit. See, I be getting people because I live my life so much. Like I'm so open with everything. People don't got no questions because I tell everything.
It's a couple questions, but you definitely open. So it's like it's hard to ask the questions. You feel me that you want to ask because they already answered.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I'm like go watch my videos. All right, and then lastly, we have Untamed. I'm gonna play the last little bit of my favorite track by him at the end of the segment. But what do you have going on? Give us a shout out. Like drop some. Where's your next performance?
Oh yeah, man. I got a show coming up. We about to do a little show. And the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. I think she said it's the 28th. We got a show at the Bullfrog. So if y'all in Detroit, come out to the Bullfrog. It's on Telegraph and Finkel, I think that is in Redford. We got a show in Atlanta coming up And then we're going to Miami later on. Probably later on down the line in June, we're going to Miami. We got a show down there. So I got a mixtape I'm about to drop. I told y'all the self-sufficient mixtape I'm about to drop. Probably within the next week and a half, I'm about to drop that.
And then where can everyone follow you?
Everybody can follow me on any social media site. The Real Untamed. That's everything. You can follow me on everything. Same thing.
So we have a chat. We had somebody in our live chat. They're asking. His question is, and then we'll wrap up. What advice can you give to the LGBTQ rappers when they want to come up in the rap game? Do you have any advice? Do you have anything to say about that? Like I know you're a father. You're straight. So do you work with any gay rappers? Are there any gay rappers out of Detroit? Like how does that work?
I mean, it is, but none have approached me. So.
And why,
I don't know. I guess.
Do you think that there is a strict homophobia in the rap game?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But in Detroit, probably. Because it's a lot.
He said in Detroit, probably.
Yeah. In Detroit, for sure. Because it's a lot of anti-gays in Detroit, for sure. Like, people don't really. But it's a lot of gays. You know
That's so funny, but it's a lot of gays. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Untamed, for coming and doing this interview. I definitely appreciate it. Like he said, you can definitely follow him on all social media platforms at The Real Untamed. He be Chef. What do you call it? Chef Boyardee.
Oh yeah, my Chef Boyardee. I'll be getting my Chef Boyardee on every now and then.
Chef Boyardee, like cooking lobster and pork chops with shrimp. It'd be looking good, and you can see his little family on there. It's so adorable. Thank you again, Untamed, for joining me. And guys, thank you for kicking it with us. And be sure to remember, what do we always do, Untamed?
You already know, man. Stay savage.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all stay cool. See you next week.
All right.
That's 313. That's 313. They can't get it like me. Bitch, I'm too street.